Hey, what's happening, everyone? Just going to show you the training session from last weekend. First up is going to be some benching, and after that, some deadlifting, some sumo deadlifting, some deadlifting you don't really see me do all too often. Again, no, I'm not going to be a permanent sumo deadlifter. Not making that change back to the dark side. I had once been an evil man doing sumo deadlifts in competition, but now it's kind of something that I dabble in. It's a little guilty pleasure. We'll just call it that. So here's benching from last Saturday, worked up to a heavy single, something that was difficult, more difficult than I really had expected to be. That was 325 on the bar there. Threw the slingshot on, went up a little bit heavier. I'm going to start doing a little bit more work with the slingshot because I find myself getting away from using it. The bench goes down in the shitter, and rinse, repeat ad nauseum. And I think I finally learned my lesson for the last time that I need to fucking use my slingshot on the weekly. And yeah, that's going to be definitely happening moving forward. It's just that sometimes it's a pain in the ass to put on. I'm just an extremely lazy person. It's a fantastic tool. I love it. I've written 2 blogs at length about how the slingshot is awesome, and still find myself not using it from time to time because I'm simply just a lazy man. And being lazy feels pretty good, but it doesn't feel as good as having a kick-ass bench. So time to get my ass in gear and continue using the slingshot. After I worked up to a heavy single or whatever with a slingshot, whatever it was, backed off down to 275. I wanted to get 15 reps total. This is like 85% or whatever of that 325 single I hit. So these are all kind of within that T1 range, hitting a peak single and then backing way off to the bottom end of that spectrum, getting 15 reps in. And I think I did a set of 5, a set of 3, 4, and then 3 again or something. I don't know. But I got 15 reps in. After that, worked up to some heavy reps on the incline bench. This right here is 165, I think, and just got a whole bunch of volume in. Did a bunch of accessory work for my shoulders. This is last weekend. Last Sunday, did some sumo deadlifting. Drank a little bit of beer. Had a really good time. And the sumo deadlift, I'm using this to specifically target my hips being a little bit weak right now. I'm having a lot of hip pain, hip popping, and I think it's just because they're just super weak. All this high bar squatting and a lack of overall deadlifting in general means that my lips, no, these lips are great. These hips of mine have sort of fallen off the deep end in terms of strength. Going to be using some more sumo deadlifts and more frequent deadlifting to get the hips back into gear. So that right there I think was 455. This ridiculous wide plates, fantastic for doing CrossFit and weightlifting. They're very economical in terms of cost. They're very, very durable. However, if you want to lift anything above 500 pounds, it's basically impossible. So this is 495 on the bar. It's completely maxed out in terms of width. Got those bands holding those bumper plates on there. And I hadn't really deadlifted anything close to this number for the last 2 or 3 months. So this 495, I was honestly not sure if I was going to be able to get these 5 reps that I wanted to get. They came up pretty well, a little bit more difficult towards the end than I had expected, or I had wanted rather, and got out of groove some, but the sumo deadlift's going to be coming along. And had some beer and continued to drink beer and continued to lift heavy weights and had a really great time. And yeah, this is 405 for 10. Another downfall of these plates is that they're very, very bouncy, and so on one of these the bar bounces back up into my hand. It kind of hurt quite a bit, so I step away from this set of 10. This is a new 10 rep max for me on sumo. I had been able to do this for a while, I just really hadn't wanted to do it, so I didn't. But yeah, I get 10 reps here with 405 on sumo. Felt pretty good. Surprisingly, my flexibility is there still. Can still sink my hips down nice and low and get my pelvis right underneath my shoulders like a good sumo deadlifter should. So after working it up to that 5 rep max with 495, backing off to doing a 10 rep max with 405, just wanted to get a whole bunch of sumo deadlift volume in, just general deadlifting volume in. I did this little circuit, 3 rounds. I did 5 sumo deadlifts with 315, 5 pull-ups, 5 conventional deadlifts with 315, and then 5 more pull-ups. Pretty fatiguing on the grip, I must say. Definitely had a wicked forearm pump from this, but you know, just had a good time. This training session for me was mostly about having a good time. I knew that my hip was going to give me a little bit of pain, but it really didn't give me all that much pain, all that much trouble, so I had a better time than I expected. Perhaps it was the 2 beers that I drank during this training session, but hey, either way, I'm just happy that feeling a little bit better, getting back in the groove of things slowly but surely, just substantially weaker than what I had been, but hey, that's the name of the game. You've got your ups and downs. Training ebbs and flows. Some days you're stronger, some days you're weaker, and the only thing that you can do is just continue to train and have your eyes set on that target off in the distance and continue to work yourself towards, hitting that bullseye. Thanks for watching.